former vice president is always looking for an opportunity to contest. He's a serious contestant, and we wish him luck.
Reaction trails former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's resignation from APC. President Buhari charges religious movements on eliminating corruption. On the foreign scene, Emerson Mnangagwa sworn in as Zimbabwe's new president. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News at 9. Reaching you live from the nation's capital city, Abuja. I am Ronke Kolawole. In Lagos tonight is Jennifer Igwe. Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra State has formally extended his appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for keeping faith with his administration's stand on the integrity of the ballot box in Nigeria's electoral process. This was when he paid a thank-you visit to the president. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that his Kaduna State counterpart Nasir El-Rufai, who also met the president, reacted to the decision by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to leave the APC, describing it as long-awaited.
Still basking in the euphoria of his re-election for a second term in office, the Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano of the All Progressives Grand Alliance is here to formally thank President Muhammadu Buhari for keeping to his promise of allowing the will of Ndi Anambra prevail.
I came to see the president to thank him for keeping his word that the election in Anambra will be free, fair, and that exactly was how it went, and I'm very happy to come to report to him personally on the success that we achieved. I thank the Anambra for this confidence they reposed on me and reassure them that this will encourage me to work harder.
Governor Obiano said although he is not contemplating dumping Abuja for the governing APC, President Muhammadu Buhari's honor, integrity, and promise-keeping disposition are critical for enduring democratic culture.
The president was excited that Anambra was happy that their votes counted. That's what he told me. He was very excited that Anambra people are happy that their votes counted, and that's a legacy he wants to leave behind, that he conducts very free and fair election without any interference from the federal.
Meanwhile, Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai of Kaduna State, who described himself as unapologetic Buharist, said there is nothing surprising about the decision of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to leave the APC.
The former vice president is always looking for an opportunity to contest. He's a serious contestant, and we wish him luck. As a governor, I want to assure you that not one governor is going to leave the party to go with the former vice president. That I'm sure of. I can speak authoritatively about it because I'm in touch with my colleagues. Yep. The only governor that he would think would go with him, the governor of Adamawa State, has already endorsed President Buhari for the next election. A majority of the APC governors have already taken the position that the president should run for a second term of office. And we're grateful to the Almighty God that the question marks about his health have been put to rest. He is getting better every day. And we are confident that the way to preserve our party and advance the interests of Nigeria is for Mr. President to run for a second term. And I'm curious to see which APC governor will go with Atiku.
Governor El-Rufai was emphatic that Atiku Abubakar has never been and will never be a threat to President Muhammadu Buhari.
I believe very strongly this is Buhari's era. As long as President Muhammadu Buhari is in politics, I do not see any Nigerian from the northern part of the country that will be able to match him in popularity. The people of the 19 northern states and most of Nigeria have decided that because of the president's past history of integrity and good governance, they are committed to him.
The Buharist, he said, will never lose sleep about Atiku Abubakar getting a presidential ticket of any political party. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
That was Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State reacting to the withdrawal of APC membership by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. The former Vice President Atiku had Friday morning, in a statement by his media office, announced withdrawal as a member of the APC. The statement did not, however, state categorically which party he is going to join. Meanwhile, the Kano State Governor, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has described the action of the former Vice President as part of democracy.
Well, he has his own freedom to choose whichever political party he wants to be, and he has decamped to PDP. He was in PDP before, and he was in another party before, so it's not surprising when he decided to choose to go to another party. So I think democracy is like that. Democracy is like that. People can choose where they want to be, and they are not committing any crime by choosing to go where they want to be. That is democracy.
Meanwhile, another internal crisis is rearing its head in the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as the National Caretaker Committee raises an alarm over an alleged plan by a group to hold a parallel national convention December 9th. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba Kudu reports.
It all started when two of the 8 chairmanship aspirants of the PDP accused the caretaker leadership of the party of favoring another aspirant from the South-South. This results in accusations and counter-accusations threatening the smooth national convention on December 9th. Exonerating the caretaker committee from any blame, the National Publicity Secretary Prince Dayo Adeyi advised party members to have confidence in the leadership.
The National Caretaker Committee has been working very hard to carry all party members and supporters of the party along in all the preparations for the forthcoming national convention. We're also putting our resources in place to address all the fears earlier reported by some national chairmanship aspirants.
Meanwhile, the PDP has reacted to the decision of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar withdrawing his APC membership. The party's publicity secretary, Dayo Adeyi, says Atiku Abubakar is free to join the PDP. However, there is a proviso.
We are a democratic party. Once you come in and you meet all the constitutional requirements, all the constitutional requirements in the constitution of the PDP, of course, we are free to contest to any position. That's our position. But we do not give ticket to anybody just like that. We follow all the normal democratic processes.
Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was in PDP before he joined the APC in 2014. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says All Progressive Congress, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, remains committed to moving Nigeria to her pride of place among the Committee of Nations. He was speaking during a visit to the national leadership of the APC at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The visit described as homecoming since the appointment of Boss Mustafa as Secretary to the government of the Federation is part of his ongoing bridge-building tour between the executive and other institutions and organs of government. The SGF reassured party faithful and Nigerians that President Muhammadu Buhari means well for them and through an accountable and transparent leadership.
When we went out for elections in 2015, nobody gave us a chance. We went out barefisted. We didn't have the resources. But my message to our people is that the same faith, the same drive, the same will, the same perseverance that kept them through the course of the electioneering and eventually gave them victory is the same zeal that will take us out of where we are.
The national chairman of the APC, Chief John Odigeo-Yegun, and the governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, implored Nigerians to keep faith with the present administration's effort to rewrite the mistakes of the country's past.
We are on to a new era, a new beginning, a beginning that will uplift the party, a beginning that will put the party in a position to contribute more effectively to the general workings of the system.
Our great party was our great president, Muhammadu Buhari, you know we are here for change. And positive change has started being seen.
The party chairman and other leaders assured that the party will remain resolute in the face of any distraction. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
The Benue state government is set to reduce the wage bill of the state from 7.8 billion naira to a manageable amount of 4.5 billion naira. Governor Samuel Otom said this at a stakeholders forum with APC stewards and other prominent people held at the government house, Makurdi. John Yaku reports that security was also on the front burner among other issues discussed.
The stakeholders meeting is held periodically where the governor briefs the people of the state drawn from various sectors of the society about development in his administration. In this edition, the governor informed the gathering that Benue has the third highest wage bill in the country. Governor Otom said the salary situation in Benue is unacceptable and has necessitated some measures including disengagement of contract staff, elimination of ghost workers, and the stoppage of illegal allowances that accrue to some staff, among others. On the issue of security, the governor assured the people of government's readiness to implement the open grazing prohibition and ranches establishment law 2017 to the latter.
To achieve this, it will require you. It will require all of us. It will require the security agencies to join forces with us. Security is for all.
The governor gave a 2-week ultimatum to contractors handling reconstruction of primary schools to mobilize to site or face the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Those who spoke at the forum commended the initiative and pledged their support to the policies and programs of the administration. In Makurdi, John Yaku, NTA News.
Unity and peace have been described as key components for meaningful development of any nation. Senate President Bukola Saraki said this at the Southern Senators Forum in Calabar.
As a nation, unity is prerequisite for development, stability, and greatness. Unity is the first focus. Without unity, we can't achieve anything.
The quest for restructuring is a quest for a return to the old covenant and original foundation laid by our fathers. It is a quest to revive the original master plan.
Cross River State Governor Ben Ayade and other speakers agree that politicians and other stakeholders must ensure even development in their respective domains.
This is not negotiable. I believe that as elected officers of this country, you have a responsibility to create a direction and give a focus and create an identity.
Participants at the inaugural retreat believe that outcome will be implemented to chart the way forward for the unity, peace, and development of the country. Fiscal transparency and citizens' engagement in governance are key factors in boosting the economy and attracting foreign investment into the country. This is the thrust of discussion at a roundtable media dialogue on open government partnership organized by the Federal Ministry of Justice in Abuja. Aliyu Tukur reports.
Nigeria has been acknowledged as one of the most largest resource-rich economies in Africa, with an evolving political system facing challenges such as corruption and insurgency, among others. But with the government working relentlessly to overcome these challenges and set a positive tone to prospective investors through targeted policies, which include eradicating corruption, diversifying the economy, transforming the agricultural sector, and providing an enabling environment for private sector. This led the country joining the Open Government Partnership in 2016 and committing to the National Action Plan. Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, Lai Mohammed, represented by Managing Director NAN, says the federal government, in an effort to promote open government, it is publishing all its activities to make it accessible to the public for scrutiny.
We are trying to move government away from being a secret organization to a more open and transparent organization.
And in Nigeria, The government has displayed the highest level of commitment. And what is unique about OGP is that there is the principle of co-creation.
The Open Government Partnership was launched in 2011 to provide an international platform for governments committed to making their government more open, accountable and responsive to citizens. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
And now to judicial matters. An Abuja High Court has fixed 7th December 2017 for definite hearing in a case of culpable homicide punishable with death preferred against one Miriam Sanda of 4 Patani Close, Maitama, Abuja. Prosecution counsel James Idachaba told the court that the offense was allegedly committed on 19th of November 2017. Judicial correspondent Abdul Fattah Adediran reports that the court also ordered that the suspect be remanded in Suleja prison pending the determination of the suit.
The suspect, Mariam Sanda, who was alleged to have stabbed her husband to death with a broken bottle on 19 November 2017, pleaded not guilty to the 2-count charge of culpable homicide and causing grievous body harm to late Bilyaminu Haliru Muhammad, her husband of barely 2 years. Prosecution counsel Idachaba told the court that the 2 charges were products of preliminary investigations. He therefore asked for a date to file new charges following new facts that have emerged in the matter.
We filed a charge against her since on the 20th, and today we're giving a date for our formal arraignment, which is what we have just done. And on our part is just for us to prove our case, and the rest is that of the court to determine her guilt or otherwise.
He urged the court to take into cognizance the peculiarity of the matter, as the defendant is a nursing mother with a baby that is barely 6 months old. The judge, Justice Halilu Yusuf, said the court cannot be dragged into any drama, particularly in view of the fact that the case before the court is that of a capital offense which is not ordinarily bailable. Justice Halilu Yusuf fixed 7 December for definite hearing of the matter. The court ordered that the defendant be remanded in Suleja prison pending determination of the suit. In Abuja, Abdul Fattah Adediran, NTA News.
And talking security now, the federal government has restated its determination to wipe out the remnants of Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast with a view to ensuring that the zone is crime-free. Muhammad Said reports that the Chairman Senate Committee on Special Duties, Abdulaziz Nyako, made the assertion in Madagali, Adamawa State, while flagging off the sharing of relief materials to victims of 7th November bomb blast in the area.
Madagali, one of the 7 local government areas in Adamawa State earlier captured by Boko Haram insurgents, is still being faced with almost daily activities of the insurgents. According to observers, these may not be unconnected with the proximity of the local government to Sambisa Forest, a suspected hideout of the insurgents. Flagging off the sharing of the relief materials, mainly food items, the Chairman Senate Committee on Special Duties, also the Senator representing Adamawa Central, Abdulaziz Nyako, said President Buhari has never relaxed in his determination to fight the insurgents to the last. The senator appealed to the people of the area to assist the military in giving useful information on the hideout of the criminals with a view to crushing them. Earlier, the Director General National Emergency Management Agency, Mustafa Maihaja, represented by the Director Search and Rescue, Air Commodore Sunday Ohimo, said NEMA will continue to assist victims of natural disasters. The senator representing Adamawa North, Bintamasi Garba, who spoke on behalf of the people of the area, thanked the federal government for the gesture, however maintained that the challenge of the people is not relief materials, but a return of peace. Relief materials include 600 bags of maize, 600 bags of millet, 600 bags of guinea corn, cartons of Maggi, and toiletries. In Yola, Muhammad Saidu, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News. Our first break is due now. When we return, more reports. Do stay with us.
Biotechnology used to be for the rich. But then one company made it affordable to all Nigerians and pioneered per-second billing. As the nation accelerated into the future, data became the new currency. But at what cost? Glo is offering unmatched data values, giving you the unfair advantage. 100 naira now gives you 90 megabytes. 200 naira, 250 megabytes. 500 naira, 2 gigabytes. 1,000 naira, 4 gigabytes. 2,500 naira, 12.5 gigabytes. 5,000 naira, 30 gigabytes. By using their massive world-class infrastructure, Glo delivers high-quality, affordable data that benefits everyone. The power is in your hands. What you choose to do with it is up to you. Dial *777#. The largest data network. Glo, Grandmasters of Data.
The Ministry of Budget and National Planning, in collaboration with the Niger State Government, announced the Joint Planning Board and the National Council on Development Planning meetings. Theme: Nigeria Economy Recovery and Growth Plan, the roadmap to inclusive growth, resilient and competitive economy. The event will hold on Tuesday, 28th to Thursday, 30th November 2017 at Honorable Justice Idris Lekbo Kutiki International Conference Center, opposite Government House, Mina, Niger State, by 9 a.m. daily. Leon Lawrence Alibo, Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
Babe, what's up? What you doing?
I'll call you back. I'm not on Nadia.
Hey, babe, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing?
Hello, baby. Let's even see your cocoa. Even Uncle is here.
Get 10 times your recharge value to call and browse anyhow. Recharge with *220 star the pin hash to enjoy this offer. Available to new and existing subscribers.
Babe, what you doing?
Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing wishes to notify the general public of the dissolution of the Federal Roads Committee on Surveillance and Action Against Road Abuse, FEXERA, by the Honorable Minister Babatunde Raji Fashola San, effective 26th October 2017. Henceforth, FEXERA ceases to represent the ministry or its agencies, particularly the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, on matters of road abuse or Federal Highway Right-of-Way enforcement. The ministry has at no time mandated FEXERA or any task force to collect fees for road abuse or heavy goods vehicles. The collection of fees on federal highways was and remains illegal. The general public and road users are hereby encouraged to notify relevant law enforcement agencies to apprehend any persons claiming to act on behalf of the ministry under the name of FEXERA. Mohammed Bukar, Permanent Secretary, Works and Housing, Announcer.
Niger Dock Logistics and Support Base is a leading provider of oil field-based services located at Snake Island Integrated Free Zone, Lagos, Nigeria. We have full port status and comprehensive supply base capabilities. Niger Dock employs over 5,000 personnel and operates 24/7 days a week. We have a proud world-class safety culture and a globally recognized track record with the oil and gas industry. Niger Dock, proudly Nigerian.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Notice of public hearing and call for memoranda. The House of Representatives Committee on Interior wishes to invite stakeholders to a 2-day public hearing on bills to amend the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Act and Immigration Act, establish special maximum security prisons, a correction center and immigration border patrol agents, repeal the Prisons Act and reenact the Nigerian Prisons Correctional Service, and regulate community service for offenders. The public hearing is scheduled to hold on Tuesday 28 and Wednesday 29 November 2017 at room 0 028, House of Representatives, National Assembly, Abuja, at 10 a.m. prompt. Interested stakeholders should submit 20 hard copies of their written memoranda on or before Tuesday, 28 November 2017, to the Secretariat at Room HB41, White House, National Assembly, Abuja. For enquiries, please contact the committee clerk, Farouk Yakubu, on 0805-404-7337. Chief Host, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, Speaker, House of Representatives. Signed, Right Honorable Dr. Jagaba Adams Jagaba, Chairman, Committee on Interior. Supported by Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, PLAC.
The ABU Zaria cordially invites the general public to the 40th ABU convocation ceremony, scheduled to take place as follows. Date, Saturday, 25th November 2017. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Venue, Mamman Kontagora Square, Ahmadu Bello University Main Campus, Samar, Zaria. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Chief host, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir Ahmad El-Rufai. Royal Father of the Day, His Royal Highness Emir of Zazzau, Alhaji Dr. Shehu Idris. Announcer, Malam Abdullahi Ahmad Kundi.
Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation has approved the 2017 promotion examination for candidates on salary grade levels 6 to 13 in the common pool of the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, who have spent 2 and 3 years on their present grade levels by 31st December 2016. Promotion examination will take place on Saturday 25th of November 2017. Time 10 a.m. prompts in the following zones: South-South, Federal Training Center, Calabar; Southwest, Federal Training Center, Ikoyi, Lagos; Southeast, Federal Training Center, Enugu; Northeast, Federal Secretariat, Bauchi; Northwest, Federal Training Center, Kaduna; North Central, Public Service Institute along Kubwa Expressway, Abuja. Please note that administrative and executive officers on grade levels 8, 9, and 10 are to converge on National Women Development Center Auditorium for the exercise. Winifred Oyoita, Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, announcer.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Glad to know you're still watching NTA Network News. President Muhammadu Buhari has made a case for religious movements to take up the gauntlet of eliminating the scourge of corruption as bane of socio-economic development in Africa. The president was speaking at an audience with the Grand Khalifa of Tijaniya Islamic Movement Worldwide, Sheikh Muhammadu Kabir. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Sheikh Muhammad al-Kabir, accompanied by other clerics from several African countries, is in Nigeria to observe this year's Eid al-Mawlud, marking the birthday of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. President Muhammadu Buhari, who noted the movement's commitment to spiritual reawakening and cleansing, enjoined the members to also work towards cementing peaceful coexistence and harmonious relations amongst the African countries and their peoples. He said while the evil of material corruption undermines the dignity and worldly existence of man, moral and spiritual corruption seek to destroy and condemn man to perpetual punishment by his creator. Religious leaders, the president therefore believes, have a duty to discourage and eliminate corrupt tendencies in the society. President Buhari lauded the peaceful conduct of the Tijaniya Islamic movement in Nigeria, saying the adherents are neither found to be in breach of the peace nor associated with extreme religious views or terrorism. He appreciated the fervent prayers from congregations such as the Tijaniya movement for unity, stability, and development of the country. He called for sustenance. Sheikh Muhammadul Kabir commended President Buhari for nurturing peaceful coexistence amongst all religious adherents in the country. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, has called on the Indian authorities to partner the federal government in encouraging investors to build and maintain world-class health facilities in the country. He made the call when the Indian High Commissioner to Nigeria visited him. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Zumba reports.
Senator Saraki said such partnership would drastically reduce medical tourism.
The difference between non-democratic governance is the existence of parliament. And I think that as we strengthen our democracy, the only way through that is strengthen the institutions of parliament and strengthen the relationship between our parliament and Indian parliament.
Keeping in view the sort of economic growth and recovery plan of the federal government, as well as the initiative that the Senate and the House of Representatives is taking, we are organizing as a High Commission on 5th of December one Nigeria-India cooperation in the field of agriculture.
He also said India is encouraging investors to come from India with their expertise, both in terms of manpower and equipment, and invest in Nigeria. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Zumba, NTA News.
And to other news now, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says traditional rulers in the country have a critical role to play in promoting good governance, peace, and sustainable development in the country. The minister stated this when he visited the Emir of Dutse in his palace. Anthony Forsin was there.
Using Jigawa State as an example of peaceful states in the country, the Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed applauded the leadership style of the Emir, which he said is responsible for the stability, peace and progress being witnessed in the Emirate. On his part, the Emir of Dutse, Alhaji Nuhu Muhammadu Sunusi, commended the minister's drive in promoting peaceful coexistence in the country. Describing tourism as a key component in diversifying the economy, he appealed for the provision of necessary infrastructure that will enable the harnessing of the full potentials of the sector. The Emir added that the minister's visit will open a new window of opportunity for Jigawa State to showcase its tourism potentials. In Dutse, Jigawa State, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, prescribing tourism and culture as panacea for Nigeria's economic recovery is the thrust of the 9th edition of the Council of Tourism, Culture and National Orientation in Dutse, the Jigawa State capital. Anthony Forson again reports.
At Kudu, the minister and some participants at the National Council of Culture, Tourism and National Orientation Conference taking place in Dutse, Jigawa State, visited Hubude and Mesa Rocks, where they were shown rock paintings and ancient pens, a manifestation of ancient settlements and civilization. Both rocks also have stone gongs that give different sound, perhaps used for different purposes during the ancient times.
We must, first of all, create awareness about tourism. People must appreciate what they have.
He, however, emphasized the need for community to play a significant role in making the sites attractive to tourists by providing infrastructure like cafeteria, conveniences, sheds, and accommodation to boost tourism as well as create jobs. The minister is in Jigawa State for the 9th National Council on Culture, Tourism and National Orientation Conference. From Dutse, Salisu Aminu, NTA News.
That was Salisu Aminu's report on the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture. The need for Nigerians to engage in agriculture business for food sufficiency and also boost the economy of the nation is the center point of discourse at the official launch of Agro-Import Project Empowerment Initiative in Ibadan. Shola Waheed reports that former President Olusegun Obasanjo is the leading presenter at the event.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo in his address emphasized that there is a vast opportunity in the agribusiness, which he says, if properly harnessed, will strengthen the economy and make Nigeria compete favorably with the leading nations of the world. He advised that youth should be encouraged to engage in agriculture for them to be self-reliant and contribute to the development of the country.
Now, women taking agribusiness as women's society in this university is taking, then we are on the way to getting there.
President of the University of Ibadan Women's Society, Dr. Eyumi Olayinka, advocated for the empowerment of women, stressing that women have the strength and innate ability to impact on the society positively.
Is to empower women and youth, though from experience now from the training activities that we have held so far, men have been participating, which means that, everybody is interested in agriculture.
Guests at the event lauded the initiative and urged well-meaning individuals to support the success of the project.
That if handled from business perspective is going to bring income, add value, and indeed contribute significantly to our already increasing GDP.
The Agro-Impact Project's Empowerment Initiative was later launched at the event in Ibadan. Shola Wahid, NTA News.
From Ibadan, we now go to Delta State, where the verification exercise of over 5,000 pensioners of Delta State Company and Federal Housing Authority is underway. This is in continuation of fast-tracking pension arrears. Onyinye Joshua Ifeanyi tells us more.
Executive Secretary of Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, Sharon Ikazo, said the ongoing exercise is part of federal government's efforts towards giving succor to pensioners of Delta Steel Company and Federal Housing Authority who are owed arrears of pension. She said the verification, which we hold nationwide, is to correct anomalies as well as streamline the payment of pensions and gratuities to pensioners under PTAD's mandate.
Under the government of our president and our leader, Muhammadu Buhari, has been able to come to the rescue of Delta Steel retirees after 12 years of neglect.
Come and see what is happening, whether it is true or not, to prove government. This is democracy in action.
I was so happy, happy for watching this woman do. Come like saying he removed pain from our life.
Look at the people that are here now. We are very happy.
There is also provision for mobile verification to be done at the homes of those who are sick and incapacitated. Next of kin of dead retirees will also undergo the verification exercise with the necessary documents. Onyinye Joshua Ifeanyi, NTA News.
We earlier told you that prescribing tourism and culture as panacea for Nigeria's economic recovery is the thrust of the 9th edition of the Council of Tourism, Culture and National Orientation in Dutse, the Jigawa State capital. Anthony Fossey is now ready with that report.
The meeting of the National Council on Tourism, Culture and National Orientation brings together stakeholders for an enhanced, effective implementation of the ministry's mandate and to provide strong recommendations to drive the sector to achieve the objectives of the Presidential Council on Tourism. It is in line with this and the present administration's policy drive on diversifying the economy that the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, while addressing the summit, restated the federal government's determination to use the sector for a sustainable economic growth.
This is why we have consistently been evolving policies and programs to explore the tourism and culture sector in collaboration with our partners and stakeholders, and in tandem with our administration's avowed commitment to boosting the economy through the non-oil sector.
Describing as heartwarming, the minister said no part of Nigeria is left out of the endowment bequeathed to it, citing nations such as China, Brazil, India, United Kingdom, the United States of America, France and Egypt as some of the countries around the world who have mainstreamed culture and tourism as vital parts of their economic agenda.
We therefore need to key into the fact that the culture and tourism sector is gaining more recognition and visibility and evolving economic activities capable of reducing extreme poverty, creating jobs, and generating revenues for national growth and development.
However, the minister called on rebranding of Nigeria's culture and tourism to attract more patronage, using Durbar as a classical example. The minister, however, assured that the document on national policy on culture and tourism will be revisited. Jigawa State Governor Muhammadu Badaru Abubakar, who was represented by the secretary to the Jigawa State government, said, having come from the private sector, called on Nigerians to embrace the economic diversification drive of the federal government.
I, like most Nigerians, feel the need to urgently diversify the economy to an end-oil sector, because reliance on oil alone is pretty unwise and dangerous. Our experience of the past 2 years remain a good example of such danger.
He added that with nearly 300 cultures that exist, it is sad that successive governments made no effort at developing the sector, thereby allowing them to be exposed to adulteration, distortion, or extinct due to uncensored exposure. He expressed satisfaction with the zeal the Minister of Information and Culture is propelling the creative industry to higher heights. In Dutse, the Jigawa State capital, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Time now to join Jennifer in Lagos for more reports. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Ronke. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. Tax defaulters and prospective taxpayers have been advised to take advantage of the Voluntary Assets and Income Declaration Scheme VATS of the federal government, or risk having themselves exposed through data and information sharing agreement to which Nigeria is a signatory. The Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, gave the advice at the second phase of the training organized by the Office of the Federal Ministry of Finance in Lagos. Lynn Leneke has details.
The federal government is determined to tackle the problems of illicit financial flows and tax evasion to boost the nation's GDP. The Voluntary Assets and Income Declaration Scheme, VAIDS, is an initiative by the federal government that will enable taxpayers regularize their tax status. Statistics by the joint tax boards revealed that about 14 million Nigerians out of an estimated 7 million are taxpayers. This training, therefore, is to educate professionals on ways to detect tax evaders and stamp out corruption in the country.
If we improve our level of taxes, we will improve the provision of social services, we'll improve the provision of education, we'll improve the provision of health services, we'll have adequate and sustainable funding, irrespective of the oil price, to run our country.
Stakeholders at the forum identified information sharing as a vital tool for tracing tax dodgers, adding that cooperation amongst government agencies and tax authorities at all levels ensures a profusion of data on incomes and assets of taxpayers.
This VATS does provide the ability for national and state tax authorities to be able to gather data online of 5 million Nigerians in the first instance is a welcome development.
The major catch of VATS is to actually bring as many people as possible into the tax net.
VAIDS is open to all prospective taxpayers who have defaulted in their tax liabilities. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
Now to health and environment. Stiff penalties await defaulters of the ban in open defecation and urinating in Lagos State. This was emphasized at a gathering put together by the Lagos State government and manufacturer of the popular toilets cleaning brand Hapik, Rekit Benkiza, West Africa, to commemorate the 2017 World Toilet Day in Lagos. Abolore Ogbara reports that this year's theme is wastewater, with focus on containment, transportation, treatment, reuse and disposal.
According to statistics by the World Health Organization (WHO) and United Nations Children's Fund (UNICEF), out of about 60% of the global population, 4.5 billion people do not have toilets in their homes. Of that figure, 862 million people worldwide still practice open defecation, While another 1.8 billion people use unimproved source of drinking water, these sanitation anomalies are responsible for 842,000 deaths annually.
It is the plan of this administration to make sure we spread these public toilets all over the nooks and crannies of Lagos.
The management of Rekit Benkiza West Africa says actualizing the sustainable development goals will ensure proper sanitation for citizens.
Provide the education and awareness that we can only do so many in the public domain. But there is this personal responsibility where we start doing it in our homes. We start finding a way to manage pit toilets. We will find a way to manage the waste much more efficiently. And the big prize is that Nigeria becomes a healthier nation.
We need to also take care of what we do with the wastage afterwards, which means bringing toilets which have the proper, let's say, system afterwards to dispose the wastage.
In 2001, World Toilet Organization declared November 19 World Toilet Day. The objective is to raise awareness on the need for effective measures to end sanitation crisis. In Lagos, Abolore Ogbara, NT News.
Now to business. Federal government floats Eurobond to fund approved budgetary expenditures as manufacturing sector bounces back to reckoning in the third quarter of 2017, plus movements of equities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Musa Toliat is a guide on Business News segment.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on Business News segment. The $3 billion Eurobond floated by the federal government has continued to elicit reactions from economic analysts. Director General Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Muda Yusuf, says much as the Eurobond is a step in the right direction, the federal government should consider concessional financing that has longer repayment period from multilateral agreements.
Because concessional financing is much cheaper, it's more sustainable, and it also has the advantage of being tied to projects. It's not the kind of financing you take and you go and start using to fund the recurrent expenditure. It's often tied to projects. That's the advantage of some of this funding.
There are indications that the federal government efforts aimed at revamping the economy have continued to pay off in various sectors. Going by the National Bureau of Statistics Value-Added Tax Sectoral Distribution Report for the third quarter of 2017, Nigeria recorded a total VAT revenue of 250.56 billion naira, representing an increase of 1.73%. Although the manufacturing sector, according to the report, generated 28.98 billion naira, the highest amount of VAT revenue within the period, economic analysts say more needs to be done to reposition the manufacturing sector for optimal performance.
There has been some improvement going by where we are coming from, but there is still a lot more that needs to be done, particularly with regard to the issue of the enabling environment for manufacturing. They still have issues with high cost of fund. They still have issues with energy costs, because the cost of diesel is rising again.
Time now to take a look at movement of equities as trading closes for the week on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
The market closed on a positive note today on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange with an all-share index of 37,365 naira. Volume of shares traded stood at 870 million, valued at 5 trillion naira, with 3,126 deals. Market capitalization closed at 13 trillion. Dangote Cement, International Breweries, Nestle, Flour Mills and Stanbic Securities are top gainers, while Nascon, PZ, Access Bank, May & Baker and Sealizin are on the losers table.
That's it on Business News Package. Stay tuned for more stories on the news at 9. Good evening.
Thank you, Musa. You're still on to NTA Network News. We have more reports ahead after this timeout. Please stay tuned.
Glow Everyday Bonanza. Over 2,500 winners have already emerged nationwide. With tens of thousands of prizes still up for grabs, don't miss your chance in the Recharge and Win Glow Everyday Bonanza.
My name is Tane Mushishi. I'm always recharged every day. I didn't believe. I don't receive the call that I won the car from Glow. When everybody wins.
Sedap Supreme Noodles, capturing the tasty goodness. It's the Sedap Supreme Chicken Essence that gives it the truly delicious chicken taste. With real chicken essence. Be Supreme, Nigeria.
Glow Everyday Bonanza. Over 2,500 winners have already emerged nationwide. With tens of thousands of prizes still up for grabs, don't miss your chance in the Recharge and Win Glow Everyday Bonanza.
My name is Talimu Shishi. I'm always recharged every day. I didn't believe. I don't receive the call that, I want a car from Glow. When everybody wins.
Kickstart your family's day with nutritious Monroe Glucose D. When you're in need of instant energy, Monroe Glucose D will deliver fast. Monroe Glucose D is extra fortified with calcium and vitamin D to help you stay strong and active all day. Monroe Glucose D. Instant energy. Fast.
One, two, three, get it. Where the B-boys at? Where they hip hop at? Where the B-boys at?
Glad to know you're still watching the Network News. Towards fulfilling its 8-point agenda of strategic collaborations and partnership to support a market-driven communications industry and promote universal access, the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps to further boost security of the Commission's infrastructure nationwide. Olajide Bello reports that this was at the instance of the Executive Vice Chairman, NCC, Professor Umar Dambata, and the Controller General of NSCDC, Abdullahi Gana Muhammadu, in Abuja.
The Nigerian Communications Commission is the independent national regulatory authority for telecommunications industry in Nigeria, saddled with the responsibility of creating an enabling environment for competition among operators in the industry, as well as ensuring the provision of qualitative and efficient telecommunications service. The Commission is planning to catalyze the use of information and communication technology for different aspects of national development. For these feats to be effectively achieved, there is the need for partnership with security operatives, safeguarding the federal government's infrastructures nationwide.
Protection from vandalism, from willful damage to this critical sector of the economy, as well as ensuring that, our emergency communication sectors are also protected.
Even before the signing of the MOU, I've called the officers in charge, both in the states and the local government areas, that they should make sure that these critical infrastructures are protected.
The Nigerian Communications Commission reiterated its commitment towards ensuring an information-rich environment comparable globally in quality communications and service provision. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Our last commercial beckons. We'll be back with you shortly after that.
This is not just a beach. This is not just another kid. This is where I found my inspiration. This is where I learned I can stand on my own. that together we can fly. This is the school of life. This is where champions are made.
Nestle, good food, good life. Can you see it?
Thank you, honey, for being such a blessing to me and our family.
Dettol team is visiting schools to teach children how to protect themselves from diseases. Do you know how we get illnesses like diarrhea, cough, and cold? No! They are spread through germs, which are everywhere. You collect germs that cause diseases. You pick up germs from any surface, like when you don't wash your hands after going to the toilet, while playing. And then you can get sick because of germs. That's why you need to fight germs to stay healthy by washing your hands and taking your bath with Dettol soap to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Wash, wash, wash your hands. What you have to do is bath, bath, bath yourself. Dettol soap every day. Wash, wash, wash your hands.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
The production and distribution of counterfeit medicine and adulterated food products have negative impact on our health and economy as a whole. I urge all Nigerians to support NAFDAC in safeguarding our health. God bless Nigeria.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
And now to foreign news. It is a new dawn in Zimbabwe as Emerson Mnangagwa is sworn in as the new president, ending Mugabe's 37 years leadership, greeted by optimism from Zimbabweans. Obiageli Ugoke completes that story.
Tens of thousands of people gathered at the 16,000